When we talk about Formula One's multiple world champions, names like Schumacher, Senna, Prost and Stewart dominate the conversation. But there's one name that often gets left behind, Nelson Piquet. A three-time world champion, yet rarely spoken of in the same breath as the sport's greatest legends. So was Piquet overrated, a beneficiary of luck and strong machinery? Or was he underrated, a driver whose adaptability and racecraft deserve far more recognition? Let's break it down. Born in 1952 in Brazil, Piquet made a name for himself in karting and Formula 3, setting lap records and winning championships before securing a seat in Formula 1, driving for Ensign, McLaren, and finally Brabham for the final race of 1979. By 1980, he was a title contender, finishing runner-up to Alan Jones before taking his first championship in 1981. It was clear Piquet was fast, calculated, and knew how to play the long game. Piquet's first world championship came in 1981, but was he really the best driver that season? His main rival, Williams' Carlos Reutemann, had been arguably the stronger performer for much of the year, only to lose the title due to internal politics at Williams and a disastrous final race at Las Vegas. Piquet, driving for Brabham, was certainly consistent, but was he truly the standout performer of the season? Many believe Reutemann deserves that title more. But let's not dismiss Piquet's ability so quickly. He was one of the best at adapting to changing technical regulations. When Formula One shifted to turbocharged engines in the early 80s, Piquet was one of the few drivers who could exact the absolute maximum out of the unpredictable turbo power units. His ability to manage fuel consumption, turbo lag and tyre wear was second to none, something that would prove crucial in his next championship fight. Piquet's second title in 1983 came with Brabham BMW, making him the first driver to win the championship with a turbo-powered car. But much like 1981, the argument exists that another driver deserved it more, this time Alain Prost. Prost had been the most consistent driver all season in the Renault, but poor reliability cost him the championship, handing Piquet the crown in the final race. And then there's the issue of the fuel controversy. Brabham's BMW-powered car was found to be running special fuel, often described as rocket fuel, which many believe gave them a clear performance advantage over the competition. Was this title won on merit, or was it a case of using every loophole available? But here's where Piquet's true brilliance shines. He wasn't just fast, he was calculating and ruthless. He was a master of the psychological game, often destabilising his rivals through mind games. Nowhere was this clearer than his relationship with Nigel Mansell at Williams. Piquet and Mansell's rivalry was legendary. Piquet, already a two-time world champion, arrived at Williams in 1986, expecting to be the clear number one. Instead, he found himself locked in a brutal battle with Mansell both on and off the track. While Mansell often had the raw pace, Piquet was smarter strategically, setting up his car for race day consistency rather than one-lap speed. This approach would be crucial again in 1987. And the mind games weren't just limited to the track. Piquet famously referred to Mansell as an uneducated blockhead, and even made derogatory comments about Mansell's wife, further escalating tensions. Whether it was necessary or not, Piquet certainly knew how to get under his rival's skin. Piquet's third and final title in 1987 was another case where some believe his stats flatter his performance. Williams was utterly dominant that year, and many argue that Nigel Mansell was actually the faster driver. However, Mansell's aggressive style led to crashes and mechanical failures, while Piquet's more measured approach meant that he accumulated enough points to clinch the title. But should a three-time world champion win only 3 races in his title-winning year? It's a fair argument against him. After his third title, Piquet's career gradually faded. He moved to Lotus and Benetton, but never challenged for another championship. By the time he left Formula One in 1991, he had been completely overshadowed by Ayrton Senna, Alain Prost, and even Nigel Mansell. But this raises a question. If he was truly one of the greats, why did he fall off so quickly when he wasn't in the best car? Would a driver like Senna or Schumacher have suffered the same fate? So what's the final verdict? Was Nelson Piquet overrated, benefiting from circumstances, strong machinery and weaker opposition in his championship years? Or was he an underrated driver, a driver whose tactical brilliance, adaptability and psychological edge made him a true legend of the sport? Now we want to hear from you. Was Piquet a true great, or does his legacy flatter his ability? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more deep dives into sport's most divisive champions, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode of the Racing Chronicles. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.